All right, I'm here with my buddy Daisy, and this is Daisy's roadmap to success. She just was so happy coming back from the walk in the video that we shot above that she just zoomed around the house, literally doing laps, and she was showing a lot of joy. And so the Guardians have been walking her a lot, yes. But I think that a lot of the walks have been the way a lot of people walk their dogs. We try to hurry the dog along. Dogs burn almost twice as much energy on a walk by sniffing than not sniffing, and also sniffing is enjoyable for them. It helps them acquire data. It also, who was walking by here? It's like watching TV or reading for them. And so if I'm watching TV and somebody turns the TV off in the middle of a scene, I'm upset. A lot of people pull their dogs away from smells. Let them sniff. Walk them to the areas that they want to go. Let them sniff, and they're going to have more enjoyment. They're also going to drain more energy. And she was just demonstrating. She was very happy with that walk. Now, I'm not going to go over the tips that are above because that's kind of encapsulated video. I'm just going to kind of summarize what we went over in this session. We started off by, she was a little bit trepidatious. When I came in, she was upstairs. She didn't see me come in, and it was unsettling for her. So I'd recommend that you guys make sure that she sees people arrive so you don't have that happen again. If it's something like that does happen again, she seemed to do better outside. I would have the person go outside and sit down and have a lemonade at your nice, picnic area out there. And being outside, there's other distractions that can help. And remember, tell her guests, if she's unnerved by anybody, tell the guests, just ignore her. Even if she comes up to you, don't pet her. Just let her sniff you and walk away. And then you can do a version of the game that we did outside with throwing the treats behind. So you give the guest the treat, she looks at the guest, they say yes, and throw the treat behind her. She runs behind and gets it, looks at the guest, and they say yes and throw the treat behind her. Eventually she starts creeping towards the guest. You can toss the treats in between. People try to do that, but then I'm trying to influence her. When I'm throwing the treats behind her, I'm trying to get her to walk away and be like, and then, I like the treats. So she's choosing to come to me. Dog consent is something that's, I'm really big on. A lot of people, it's underrated for a lot of folks. They're not even aware of it. And so it's one of the lessons we went over is a dog consent exercise. Now remember, if anybody wants to meet her, just say, yeah, can I meet your dog? Yeah, just want to make sure she wants to meet you. Can you hold her hand out and see if she wants to meet you? How's she going to tell me? Well, if she touches her nose to her hand, she's saying she wants to meet you. And if she does, she likes being petted under her chin. What if she doesn't do that? That might be her way of saying she's uncomfortable, she doesn't want to meet you, she's tired. No offense, no problem. And so if she goes up and turns her head away, she's saying, I don't want to meet him. Your job is to make sure that she doesn't have to do that. One of my company mandates is always be the dog's advocate. It's not your responsibility to take care of other people's needs. And she looks like the dog I had that got hit by a car. Sorry, man, but she doesn't want to meet you. If I force her to meet you, I might make her feel trapped. That's where a lot of nips and it breaks the trust that you have between you and your dog. So she's a beautiful dog. She's exhausted. Yes, I'm talking about you. But that coming down the stairs, I'm just thinking that might be something you guys encounter again. So whenever that happens, try to increase the distance, provide her with a nice stimulus-free environment, and have that person slow down. No big movements, no talk, no eye contact. Just have them be passive, and they can have treats when she comes up. Let her have the treat, and then hold their hand there afterwards. She'll probably lick the hand again a couple times. And then when she wants to walk away, great. The playing hard to get works kind of great with fearful dogs. She's not a fearful dog, but in that particular capacity. All right, we worked on marker words. We loaded the marker words. Make sure that you guys do that. Remember that, because by the time you see this, I want you guys to be done with that. So walk around your house, yes, treat. Take about 5 steps, yes, treat. So she does it all over the house. Then about an hour or more later, do it with the clicker. You can do yes, 6 times in a row, and the clicker the next day, 6, however you want to do it. But you're done when you click or say yes, and the dog is like, looks up at you. And once that's the case, then you're done loading it. You can just continue to use it like we are now. Now, my dogs are 8 and 10 years old, and I use the marker word all the time. Technically, you can drop it once you say sit, the dog can sit, but there's nothing wrong with using it. Speaking of sit, she does not really know sit. She knows a little bit of the gesture for sit. So one of the exercises I like the Guardians to do is with the clicker preferably, and grab a handful of treats or kibble, walk around your house, say sit, and lure her into that sit. As soon as her butt hits the ground, click, give her the treat. Take a couple steps away so she gets out of a sit. Repeat that. Keep doing that. And I would do that maybe 3 to 5 different times with like 15, 20 treats each time. After the 3rd time you do that, then I would say sit, lure her to sit 4 times in a row. The 5th time I would just say sit without the lure and see if she does it. If she doesn't, then go back to luring. And then there are 4 more, and the 5th one, sit without doing it. We want to see when she's going to pick up on that auditory cue. And eventually you take a couple steps away, say sit, she sits, click, and give her a treat. So now we don't have to use the motion. This is what we call fading the lure. Yes. All right. So we went over hand targeting. So smash means smash means touch your nose to my hand. I have a video on marker words and hand targeting. If you don't have them on the write-up or you need questions, let me know. I'm happy to go over those with you. We went over the dog consent lesson. Remember, don't start petting her on top of the head. You can get there later, just don't start that. And then watch for cutoff signals, flipping the ears back, lowering the head, ducking, turning away, refusing to come to you. Sometimes that's not disobedience. Sometimes the dog's saying, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And so the more that we recognize and respect her cutoff signals, the more confident she's going to be. Right now she looks super cute. I'm tempted to go pet her. But the expression, let sleeping dogs lie, when we pet the dog, we do disturb them. So I usually recommend letting them sleep and not petting them. If you're petting them when they go to sleep, that's different. And I usually like to make the dog bed and the kennel safe places. If I go to the dog bed or the kennel, nobody messes with me. So that way, if it's too much, I can go over here and sit down, and then I don't have to worry about anybody guys messing with me. I have a fight or flight response. She's already demonstrated multiple times she has a flight. So let her move away on her own, and then we give her time and space, and she wants to hang out in her kennel. Now, the guardians are kenneling her right now. She's only been here for about 4 weeks. I'd probably wait until she's about 3 months before you start this. But then I would, again, police things up. Tuck your Ring camera power cable behind the kennel. Maybe leave a sacrificial old shoe out, but police everything else up, close all the doors, and then leave, and then go sit in your car outside so you can watch her on your Wi-Fi. If she does start licking something, she's probably going to start chewing it. Then you want to come inside right away. But the idea is to give her a little bit of access, see how she does. Can she be trusted out? I only use a kennel to keep my dog safe and my house safe. I would prefer to have her free. It's a better lifestyle for her as long as she's not chewing things up. And then if somebody does come and try to break in, she's a big dog. She has a couple barks. They say a bark and a cocking shotgun, and the two things are going to keep your house safe. But if she's in a kennel, it kind of negates that a little bit. But we'd probably wait until she's about 3 months in the house so that we know that she's kind of completely comfortable. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months is kind of an adage that we use when we adopt new dogs. First 3 days in their shock, 3 weeks you're kind of seeing the dog's personality. By 3 months, that's what you're seeing is what you get. Okay, we went over some creative exercise. We went over feeding out of a snuffle mat. The one that I like is, I believe it's R-U-N-D-I-K or D-I-C-K. It's a gray one on Amazon, and it has a little bit of a band around it. It's rectangular. I would recommend getting one of those because for her, she eats food fast, and that's a nice way to drain some energy. The Omega Paw Tricky Treat Ball is the orange ball. Get the large one of those if you get one. But for that one, make sure as soon as she's done with it, you pick it up. Because my dog, after a while, stopped paying off treats. He said, what's broken? And ripped it open to see what was wrong, and I had to buy another one. So I put that one up after she gets done. Let me see. You can get an elevated bowl to help with the drooling. Let me see. We went over cooking in the corner. That was when we threw the treats. That's the introduction of scent games. We did some scent work outside, but scent games are a wonderful way to drain a dog's energy, and this doesn't usually require you doing it as well. So yeah, I invite you to Google it. There's a bunch of courses you can take, but just find 3 or 4 games that you can do. Some people will do it with like the solo cups with a treat underneath one, and you kind of do the what do they call that thing? You know, 3-card Monte, yeah. You got caught off guard. That was your dad saying 3-card Monte. And that's her way of saying, I got caught off guard. Alert, I'm raising an alarm. I'm giving her a little reassurance. People say you shouldn't pet a dog for barking or making bark. She just got caught off guard. I'm just kind of reassuring her, just like if somebody rubs my shoulders if I get scared. It's okay, sweetie, yes. All right, how about we crash down? I guess that's not your word. My dog's word is crash. Remember, if she growls, barks, or any of those things, she's just saying, I disagree, I feel uncomfortable. That was, I disagree with that sound. It caught me by surprise. Never punish, just try to increase the distance if you need to. Let me see, there's also, for fetch, when you're playing fetch, throw the ball down there and then go stand out there and have a treat. When she comes to you, hold the treat out. If she drops the ball, say yes and put it in her mouth. Then pick it up and throw it again. And if she comes in here and doesn't drop it, that's fine. Just come in and grab it and go back out there, but hold the treat out when she's coming towards you. Don't hold it out too far. I don't want her to drop the ball here. But eventually she'll come out and spit that ball out for you, and now you've created a little bit more of a motivation to play the game the way you want. I usually like to say the word fetch as I throw it. When the dog brings it back to me and drops it, I say yes, then I give them a pet or a treat. But it's a nice way to burn energy. You can also play, depending if you want to or not, doggy fetch on the stairs. That's a doggy stairmaster. The stairs make it a little bit harder. She's going up and down those stairs. Now, that is a repetitive thing, so I don't do that a ton, but if it's a rainy day or something like that. Let me see. Training is also a wonderful way to drain energy. Keep your training sessions 1 to 3 minutes maximum. Always end on a positive. And the idea is that way she's remembering it was a positive one and she wants to do it again. Now, first, for the marker word, we always want to say the marker word the instant she does the thing that you want. But if we want to delay things a little bit, yes. Now, point of fact, for my dogs, crash means lay down. Flop means lay down on your side. Pancake means lay on your back. So if I know that she's going to roll over, I can say the word before she does it for the celebrate game, and then boom, now I'm rewarding that. You can also lure her with a treat and all that fun stuff, but come up with distinctive words, make sure they sound unique, and try to only have one word for each cue. Let me see, what else was I just talking about? Enrichment games. Google enrichment games, go to Facebook, look for enrichment groups. You can do that paper towel tube that I was talking about. Take a piece of paper towel, put a piece of kibble in it, crumple it up a little bit, another piece of kibble, about 5 or 6, and then shove it in the paper towel tube, put about 2 treats in between, repeat the sheet again. You have about 5 or 6 wads of those, and then put it down in her kennel. She's gonna chew that stuff and rip it open to find those treats. It's a nice way to drain energy. And there's a lot of other DIY enrichment things you can do. Ideally, dogs like to get exercise about every 2 to 4 hours, either mental stimulation or a little enrichment. So try on those days when she's in the kennel a little bit longer, maybe try to get her, leave a Kong with peanut butter in, which I'm guessing you guys probably already do. You can start freezing it when you go in there, when she goes in the kennel. Ask her for a sit before you open the kennel door once she knows how to do sit. Look for ways to incorporate a little bit of impulse control. Sit, and then I'm going to prepare your food. Sit, and then I'll put your food down. Sit, I'll put your harness on. I talked about it a little bit in the video, but make sure you recreate things that get her excited. Break them down into small individual steps. If she starts getting excited, that step is too big. Wait for her to relax, then recreate it and have that step a little bit lower, a little bit less intense. Eventually, you work your way up to the real world situation. She's able to be leashed up without being bouncing off the walls and all the rest of that fun stuff. Let me see, what else do we go over? I said lead sleeping dogs lie, but she's not sleeping, I guess. How many times a day do you feed her? Twice? Yeah. Okay. We went over recall. So one of the things that we did is held the treat to her lips, said here, and take a step back. When she arrived, said yes, and release the treat. I have a video on the recall that I did with the triangle, actually both of them. If you want me to share that with you, let me know. But I would practice that every time you have a friend come over. You do it with 2 people, but after a while the dogs just start going back and forth. We want to have her come to whoever's calling her. Now, but remember to celebrate recalls, celebrate downs, celebrate sits, celebrate dropping things, celebrate going to her kennel, going to Paris, or whatever it is. The more you reward her for the things you want, the more she's going to offer you those behaviors. And remember, all attention's rewarding. So giving her attention like, don't do that, will make her more likely to do it again in the future. It might stop it now, but you're going to start it up again later. So try to find ways instead to distract her. I like using the pause interrupter sound, and then hold out a treat, or do the touch, smash, and then she runs over to you. Instead of getting in the trash, you've redirected her by making a sound. You didn't give her attention. She's sniffing the trash, you go, she looks at you, you say smash, she runs over, touches her nose to your hand. You've just redirected her out of getting her out of the trash. Now you're gonna have to give her a bully stick or carrot. Carrots are wonderful things to chew on. Take her for a 5-minute sniff walk or something. Otherwise, she's probably gonna go back to getting in the trash. But giving attention actually doesn't stop dogs from doing things you don't want. So try to find ways to distract her instead. Trying to think, for other dogs, when you see dogs out and about, you pass a skateboarder, pass a jogger, there's that squirrel, pass the wheelbarrow, yeah, I said squirrel, and she doesn't react, yes, and give her a treat. Remember, the more that you reward, yeah, she sees it, the more you reward her for the things you want, like I mentioned earlier, the more likely she is to do them again. Is there anything else you guys want me to cover in this?
Not that I can think of.
No, that was great.
Okay. Now, if you do have any other questions, please feel free to text me. I don't charge for phone calls or texts. I want you guys to be happy. Well, hopefully you'll give me a good Google review. But I don't care if it's 2 seconds after I walk out the door or 2 years from now. If you have a question, even if it's not something we talked about today, let me know. I'm happy to help you. This is the Daisy girl. Oh, and yeah, remember, keep on saying, let's go. Every time you get up to walk anywhere, she's going to follow you. And when you get done with a bag like these, keep the bag. That way you can just crinkle it. That'll get her attention. You kind of look like a vampire bat upside down. All right, well, this is my goofy buddy Daisy, and this is Daisy's roadmap to success. Remember, everything you do trains your dog, only sometimes you mean it.